Take a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes.
I'll motion to approve agenda notes.
I'll second it.
Moved in second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, motion carried. Rich.
Good morning.
Morning.
Last week we kind of temporarily prepared for some snow. We didn't get, thank goodness, but we are going to be down 2 part-time operators this year until we find somebody to replace those positions. 2 individuals that just, they got enough going on already in the wintertime that they just didn't feel the need to come back and help us out. So we're gonna put an advertisement out because we just can't seem to find, by word of mouth, we can't find anybody, but it might be a struggle, just so you guys know that. We typically order our cutting blades or our plow blades from the DOT, and then they informed us that they can't sell them anymore. They aren't getting enough of what they need. Plow blades have almost doubled the price. So we're probably gonna have to order through CAT, but they went from typically about $105 a blade to almost $200 a blade. So just so we're gonna need them. We had one quote that was almost $400 a blade. So
Who's the suppliers for those? I mean, I know they're different than like a
random
loader edge, but you still picked them up at welding shops.
yeah, we had I can't remember what we called the supplier that supplies the cutting edges, and they gave us an outrageous price. And then we called the CAT and we got a lot better price through them. But the DOT typically sends out an advertisement to buy in bulk and lets the counties piggyback on them, much like they do the salt. And sometimes CAT's cheap, sometimes there's other suppliers, but finding them seems to be kind of a bugger. I called one other county and found out that they were getting theirs through CAT too. We were getting them through CAT, Mitchell County also, but kind of a surprise to us. So
Did you ever check
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they do or not. I mean, because we get the carbide inserts,
Right,
so they're,
you get some specialty stuff.
yeah.
So
So
far, yeah, snowplow blade.
But-
so now you go out by cutting matches. I think just
Right.
yeah, you can get a regular cutting edge.
Yeah, but you know, you
That's why I was curious.
Those greater
whether-
blades got that curve to them. They're kind of a
Well,
different
they're
design.
double
And the
edged,
snow
right?
blades are
and ours, they're steel on the outside with an insert of carbon in between them, carbon steel. So it's,
Make them last longer.
yeah, they're very hard. So they're kind of a manufactured thing. So anyway, we're gonna get enough to what we think will get us through the year, and we'll see what the prices do, make sure we're kind of stay on top of that a little bit, but just so you guys are aware of that. In addition to things going up, we've got our bridge inspections rotation this year. And the price is probably double than what it has been in the past because there's more things that have to be done this year. Every 10 years, we've got to do stream cross sections, and they have to survey the stream cross sections on all the bridges. So this is a 10-year cycle there. Plus, there's a lot of SNBI work. We have to get some more bridges rated. We have a lot of rail car pipe that we used to be able to just not have rated. Now they're requiring everything get rated. So we're going to have everything rated on hard surface for now, but the price is now $67,600 for this year's round. Typically, it's been pushing that 35,000. So,
So this bridge inspection help with getting your roads classified for the overweight permits.
well, that's already done. What it's going to do is
Okay.
it could be changed. I mean, we'll probably see maybe more postings. That all got done by July.
Okay.
So we've opened up all of our roads to the annual oversized permit through the DOT, but there's still bridges that are posted on those routes.
Correct.
So this is just, that process has been done. They rated all that stuff for those,
Okay.
for that increased 96,000 pounds or whatever. So, but part of the inspection, they'll go through the inspection and re-rate things that need to be re-rated. So.
Okay.
So we have the contract here for not to exceed fee of $67,600 for WHKS to do their annual. They actually want to maybe get started this week, so that's kind of rushed through this, but get done this week. So
hands are kind of tied, aren't they?
All right. Motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
second that move.
Okay, moving second, any further discussion, and none, all fair say aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carried.
Other than that, I don't have much other than I'll update you on the office construction stuff when we get to that point too.
Just one page, Rich.
Yeah, that's the whole, yep. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any questions? Nope. Okay, I got one. You and I did talk about it on the phone. Mowing field edges.
Yep.
I usually get one complete a year or a little better. Is there a policy on it, or we just other?
Well, I think the policy should be, you don't enter anybody's private property without permission. I think a lot of times the guys in the past they know who it is, or
Yeah.
they, it's,
A lot of times, the
landowner understands why they're out there, but yeah,
And the landowner I was talking to about, he called, he just said, I couldn't have a problem with it, other than they didn't ask me.
and that's the thing I told him. I said, I talked to Lynn about it, and I told Lynn, I said, these guys gotta know this, and I don't know if it was one of the newer guys or not, but I don't care if you think you know who they are or whatever, and it's like, well, you get that attitude, well, we just won't do it, and then they can worry about their road being plugged. That's not the attitude we need to take. Just make a phone call, and if the ground wasn't worked, it probably isn't that big of a deal, but I don't care if it's worked or not worked. At least let them know that they're gonna be there to do it. So I've told them that, so our policy is you don't cross that line without permission, and some guys just get out there, they don't wanna wait. They're out there mowing and they see it, they don't wanna wait half a day to get a response back from somebody. They're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll take our lashings and get it done, because it does help everybody out in the meantime, but so.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the attitude is, well, that little light tractor isn't compacting near as what their farm equipment was during the harvest, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to some people. It's so. No written policy,
Yeah, right.
but it's our policy. My policy says you don't cross the line until you get permission.
Quick question, did you send Vance an email on the traffic count?
I have not.
Okay.
I was waiting for their official documents.
Okay.
All the stuff we got was preliminary. I don't think it's-
Cody's not here yet. Any updates on the project updates, change orders, anything right now?
Nothing on change orders or anything like that. They're building the stub walls in the main facility. There was some plumbing going on last Friday in the office building. I met with Actera Friday about the fuel station. And so we spent about an hour and a half just discussing what we were looking for as a county, the location we might put it. So they're gonna put something together to let us know, kind of give us an idea of what it could cost us. And I kind of gave him a ballpark of what I thought it was gonna cost. I said, I think we can get it done for 200,000. He thought, well, it should be around that. So we're looking at getting a little bit larger diesel tank, probably about the same size gas tank we have, but we're going to try to get a fuel system that can help us with billing, and we'll use fobs to access things, fobs and maybe PIN numbers to kind of find out what vehicles are filling, whatever. But there's systems out there, and we're going to get one that we're looking at, one system that's more cost effective than some of the other popular ones. The one that they're recommending is really, they said, does more than the popular one and is a little bit cheaper to maintain. So we'll look at that and see what options there are. But I think it'll be nice to be able to track, what piece of equipment is getting filled, how much they're taking, and actually maybe who's filling it. Not that I don't think we have a problem with theft, but I think it's nice to have that all documented in case somebody questions something.
Good for budget questions down the road.
And I think we're trying to, I know that some of us have fobs to get in. If we're going to do a fob system out there, we might be able to make those fobs tie in with that system, so they don't have to carry 3 different fobs around. And it's a matter of taking our current fobs and then sending them to the system or whoever, and they can, because it's all just radio frequency.
Right.
So they might be able to make things work where one fob does everything for us. Even if you guys have different fobs, courthouse fobs, whatever, they can maybe make them
That'd be nice.
work. I don't know that for sure, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what I said, it'd be nice to just not have 10 different fobs for 10 different things.
Yeah, especially when they all look alike, probably.
So, and you know, there's gonna be some expense to it, but well, as with everything, there's gonna be an expense to something to be more convenient.
Long-term return will be
Yeah.
able to manage things a little better. So.
And I told them our timeline was we wanna be, if we got a fuel station, I want it fully operational by, you know, by the time we move in November.
Yep. Perfect.
And they didn't think that timeline was too out of whack. So the next thing we'll look at is, I think we can get hoop buildings a lot quicker and things like that, but we're working on that. I don't know where we go with the cold storage yet, whether we just find a contractor and say, I just need a regular mortgage, because it's not a public building per se where there's public walking into it. It's just a storage building. So I don't know what those requirements. typically are.
Conservation did that.
I would think cold storage just to, would be, couldn't be that complicated, I would hope.
No, it's the whole shed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, have security features and locking doors, but other than that.
We just get a shelf for now. That's all we.
Yeah, there you go.
Whether we even put concrete in it.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the updates I've got for you.
Those quick, there was no drainage claims or anything. Let's talk about, I had a call from a concerned resident about DD 21 out there and hunting. We have a lot of issues with hunting requests out there. And it's owned by the district, like we chatted about. We just need to maybe get a sign made up, or what do you guys think? That says no
I think you
hunting,
should put a sign out.
no hunting without permission from DD 21 landowners or whatever.
Pretty much. 'cause
Probably
it's-
at least one on both sides, probably.
Yeah.
Get a decent one made up. Is that like Sign Pro or somebody?
Rich, you guys make it any?
Or Rich, you
We
got,
don't make any.
Could you order us?
We can
What
order
we
all
want?
these signs.
a couple of them, then we
Order a
can, that are
couple.
decent size so people can see them
You just want no hunting without landowner permission, or
and without,
No,
yeah, I would say it's DD 21. Is it DD 21 West or just DD 21? How is that?
21 bucks.
I
West
think it's
Main.
21.
West Main.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I put, that way it makes it more,
no hunting without permission from DD 21 landowner.
I don't think I'd leave it that open, would you?
without all approval of all DD 21
I would honestly just put private property over to.
or that.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't care. I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah, that's
whatever
what
you
I
have.
would do.
That'd be a lot easier, private property.
Drainage District West 21, private property, no hunting.
Yeah,
There you
Just
go.
said
So that
west.
eliminates the question.
Yes, then there's no questions of who do I talk to? Well, I talk to one person when there's 25
Yeah,
landowners.
because that's what's happening
Let's
now
just
is one
completely shut it
person
off.
saying, well, I don't care. You
Is
can-
it 21 West?
It's 21 West,
West Main.
West Main, yeah.
Private property.
No line.
No hunting.
That'll eliminate, and get a couple of them and then, like I say,
I
put
put-
one on each end and
I put the no hunting in big
big
letters on
letters,
top.
big orange.
Yeah.
Reflective letters.
No questions, call Mark Sullivan.
No, just you live there in the DNR.
Is it your number on the bottom?
Sure, in real fine print,
They'll find it.
because we'll have to change that on a basis.
Yeah,
I ain't got much time
says
left.
have a magnetic,
Yeah, magnetic strips. like-
I'm sure and order an extra one, because I'm sure one will get shot.
yeah.
Slide in there.
Well, that's
Yeah,
safer,
get us like 3 or 4 of them, if you would.
that's safe for the people that live there too, and their livestock.
Right, exactly. And it's, like I say, eliminates the question for the guy called, so, all right. Well, I guess Jody is actually out there, so we'll let you come on in. Good morning.
Oops, I do not poking the eye with.
No, I,
You don't.
no, I don't know. But
Anybody
not
else
important.
need one? Okay, not important. All right, so there is, good morning, I'm Jody Applegate, Healthy Aging Director. I think you see some familiar faces, probably from the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so there's our annual report for FY '25. And so we do thank you guys for your support in the last couple of years. The report is there. There's a lot of good information. We've got a new CEO, Stacia Timmer, who was our COO, took over as our CEO in July when Shelley retired. So there's a nice little welcome from her and things like that in there, but probably the crux of it is, we continue to strive, to help our seniors in our 29 counties remain independent, stay in their homes as long as they can, and with our help with funding from federal sources, state sources, our county funds are even more important because we draw on those to help match. We have to do a 25% match for our federal funds. And so those county and other things that we do, such as our own fundraising, things like that, really, that's what helps us get that 25% match so that we can get that guaranteed money from the feds. When we look at our budgets and our money from the Older Americans Act, we're looking at probably being down about $2 million from the pandemic into next year when we look at 27. And so that's really put some things that we've had to do. In perspective, we are looking at wait lists for our meal sites. So we're looking at the Older Americans Act requires that we serve those most at economic, social, and risk of being institutionalized. And so we've had to look at our meal sites and those people that partake in our meals and who are our highest priority people. It's been quite the undertaking. If you think about, we've got about 48 meal sites. They're all basically independently run. And so trying to get that information out to people and getting them to understand that has been quite the undertaking. We're trying to do that with as little of, angst to people. People can still eat. They just may have to do what we call a pay for service with the meal site. And the meal site will just maybe we'll charge them a set price for the meal. We're doing our best. And then, like we said, we've got our slam dunk again happening in March. So look on our website for that information. If you're interested in online auctions, things like that, there's a variety of things throughout our 29 counties. One thing I'd like to point out, so the report's right there, shows you that what we've done, this is for Northwood Senior Center and Manly. When you look at the home delivered and the congregate, those are the 2 meal sites that we serve in Worth County. Funny story is that Manly, I don't know what Patricia does up there with her liver and onions. I can't take it off the menu because there's a few people around that like it. But there in Manly, it is, I think, her highest day for count is her liver and onion day. So I'm not sure what they're doing with it.
It's probably an age thing.
I won't be signing up for it. No.
It's a generational thing.
I think so.
My grandparents would make that.
Yes.
And as kids, we had to try it, of course.
Yes.
Right? It's not for me, but they
that's-
loved it. They grew up on it. So
But there are other meal sites that would be happy if I didn't have it on the menu at all.
Sure.
And they may use those days as that, oh, wait, we're gonna insert cook's choice here sneakily. We always offer like a hamburger or a Salisbury steak instead of the liver. So they're not, tied into that, but yeah, it's not my thing either. Maybe, I don't know, maybe someday, but just not right now. So, and as you can see that, on the backside of that, where we talk about the numbers is our data. So we're looking at around 2,100 people again this year, in Worth County, age 60 and over. We have increased our ask this year from 320 to 330 per senior. So that's just that math that shows up as that 7118 that we've got our ask for. And we appreciate, we tell people this with their voluntary contributions. It's a voluntary contribution. Nobody knows what you're giving or shouldn't know what you're giving. And every little penny helps. We just did a Randy's Roundup with Randy's Supermarket in Clear Lake, and talking to one of the cashiers. She's like, some people, there's only is like 5 or 10 cents. I said, every 5 or 10 cents makes a difference. And I know you guys are strapped to, counties are strapped with their funds too, but always want to show you what good you guys are doing, that return on that investment. We try to be very thrifty with our dollars, so and make them go as far as we can.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
Hear a lot of good things. we will do the best we can, and
Yep.
we appreciate all you do.
And we appreciate you guys, so thank you. Any questions?
But with the, just on the federal side, I know the federal government, so
Yeah.
like walking on eggshells right now. I mean, is that is
Yeah.
that gonna continue? Have you guys haven't heard any rumblings?
We haven't heard anything. We
Okay.
have, US Aging, who is kind of where funding comes through and down to us. There are kind of the, the advocates for, you know, the AAAs. And what, we've heard is just, we're trying to just do business as usual. Right now, Elderbridge is sitting okay.
Good.
We have been fortunate enough that we have, you know, set aside some, you know, funding and things like that for that rainy day. And so we have some of those things that we, you know, as long as we don't continue, you know, for too many months, you know, but we'll be okay. But that's part of, you know, we may have to look at some of our meal sites that that need those numbers. We talked about prioritization, and it's a scale of up to 11 for people. We may have to look at some of those whose needs are 4s and 5s and be like, we got to put our money where the higher need is, which is not something we want to do. We're not in the business of, you know, closing senior centers or not having them available. But right now we're okay. Elderbridge is okay, and we're trying to tell all of our clients and all of, you know, our meal sites, it's business as usual right now.
Good. Just know that's
Yeah.
it's a bit of a scare for a lot of things.
It
You never
is.
know what's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, we haven't seen any money this month from the feds, but we, our state comes in like quarterly allotments, and so we are still sitting okay right now.
Good.
So,
Good.
yeah. Anything else?
Thanks, appreciate
All
it.
right,
Thank you.
we
for
thank
coming in.
you and appreciate everything you guys do. And the hard decisions you have to make too. So have a great day, guys.
You
Thank
too,
you.
thank you. Here we go. So claims. Reports.
There are claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Sorry,
I'll second that motion.
move in second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Motion carried. Monthly report from the sheriff, right? Take a motion to approve the reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the reports.
Second.
Second, one further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Motion carried. Payroll, salary changes. Okay. Sheriff.
Yeah, 3 new, 2 longevities, and then 1 from public health. Which is a change.
All right. Motion to approve the salary. Eligibility verifications and changes.
Motion to approve the salary changes.
I'll second it.
Move in second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion. Zero liquor. All right, we'll start in on the AI policy.
We don't have to hear if anybody,
Yeah, I read it online.
all right, if anybody needs a copy of it. Basically, this policy, I just took Blackhawk's policy, read through it, and then sort of streamlined it because they've got some, like councils and stuff like that, and just some things that we don't really have here. So basically, it's just a pretty simple policy, kind of a starter, just so we have something. And then I'd say probably with the way it changes so fast, I'd say we probably want to look at it again in a year just to see if there's any changes that need to be made. But I want something pretty simple and straightforward. Mark pointed out that we should probably add some training, like a training component to it. And I can look around and see, I don't really have it changes so fast is the big problem. So
Is there anything in the know before you go program or cover this?
I don't, there might be, I've got a meeting with them here coming up in a couple weeks, so I can check, but I don't think there is. I don't think so, yeah, but I mean, a lot of it's the same stuff, you just have to be careful with, you know, what you're doing and not putting any PHI or CGIS information into systems that.
We'll start and we'll learn as we go.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, it's the tough thing is it's kind of like the internet. It's changing so fast. You know, when the internet first came out, it seems like every month it's something different. And I've been playing a little bit with the free tier stuff. Some of the different models are better for different things. We do have a subscription to Copilot, which is the one that Microsoft provides. That one's pretty decent if you need to like go through your emails or files and stuff like that. It can point out conversations, but it's not as good for generating stuff. It seems like it's better in hey, you tell it, hey, if I had any of these conversations, I can search your email and all that other kind of stuff and summarize it for you. So I don't know. A couple people have asked about getting paid stuff. They usually run about $30 a month per user. So I don't know where, you know, if we want to do a trial thing, pick up like 5 trial licenses and ask for volunteers who'd like to trial it out, or 5 or 10. I don't know. That's
If you don't know, I definitely do.
I was gonna say,
I mean, part of it is, you know, I'm still kind of new to this, so I don't, you know, everybody's got a different job and they have different needs and stuff, so.
Correct. And I think that kind of be a developing deal where you can talk to the department
Yeah.
heads, see what they
Yeah.
think, what
Maybe.
they want, and we can address that. I mean, the first thing is probably addressing the policy.
Yeah,
I would assume we'll have at least all the department heads sign off on these.
I
Probably
yeah.
actually,
Have their,
I didn't
have their
know.
employees
did
read
they
them.
get a copy of it for right now?
Yeah, well, I emailed, did you get the,
We'll have
I
to
emailed
put
the department
form-
heads?
okay.
We'll have to get
Yeah.
a sign off. I'll work with you and we'll figure
Okay,
something out.
yeah, cause I
And
mean,
then I did a sign off for the board too.
okay,
So we got an official.
Basically, I would assume it kind of gets attached maybe to the employee handbook too. Going forward, and then it'll be continually, at least yearly, I mean, maybe every 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
We might
We
have
have
to
your-
address things.
We have your other policy too.
oh, yeah,
I gotta kind of rely on you.
Just like wastewater and water, huh?
yeah,
It's there, we gotta do it.
Well, it's right in your face everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing necessarily either, it's just.
No.
Correctly.
the thing I get concerned about is I'm not sure, it seems like there's a lot of startup money, venture capital money in it right now. And so I'm not sure if the price that they're giving is reflective of what it's actually gonna cost to run these services. Are they just taking in a bunch of money and, hey, we can offer this for now because, you know, if we get systems set up and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we gotta double the price of this to make it
Yep.
available, then we're in kind of a.
I mean, I'd say basically right now, we just pass the policy, and then I would suggest that all the department heads kind of think it over, what they would think they might need or not need. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you can do.
Run it through them, let them read it all, and sign
Okay,
off
yeah,
on it, and then if you get into some of the subscription stuff or something can be utilized, yeah, we could do some.
I mean, I can definitely see some
That's fine.
advantages for
Yeah.
writing ordinances and resolutions.
Oh, yeah, I mean, stuff like that, if you, I don't do a lot of that, so
Right.
that part of it isn't.
With some of the
But
departments.
yeah, but they,
Different things, it's here to stay.
yeah,
I did talk with Joel Roney too a while back and see what ISAC's doing, and they're working on some AI stuff that they can provide out to the counties to help them with policy,
Guidelines
and
and policies.
guidelines and stuff too. They haven't got it all figured out either. I think they're probably trying to catch up.
Right,
and
yeah,
keep up with it too.
right.
It's like every time they get something that they think looks good, it's like, well, here comes. It's like, oh.
Oh, I know, yeah,
So,
yeah, the capabilities change so fast, it's like, yeah, so.
Joel's been tinkering with Copilot for a while now.
Yeah, I've been
Just
using it a
trying
little
to-
bit,
yeah.
but
Mark, I'll give you a motion to approve the AI policy.
I'll second it.
Okay, moving second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, same sign, motion carried. Just give us some form and let you figure out, like I say,
All right,
encourage all the department heads to have a
yeah,
conversation with them.
I'll,
On what they think they'll use it for. And so kind of address some of it. And
when is next department heads meeting? I don't remember.
Yeah, that'd be a good one if you want from the UD. And for input from everybody. So, okay. All right. Well, we'll go back there. John's here, so how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad.
You go back there or you wanna move up here?
I'll move up, I guess.
Come on up.
Are you all better?
I'll trade with you.
You sure?
Yep. You can have a hot seat.
How you all doing this morning?
Good.
Good, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Good. You're recovering? Still going good?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm 100%,
I'm not either.
but, you know, considering where I was,
Yeah,
You're a lucky
you're a
guy.
lucky guy.
well, my doctor, I had two doctors tell me that I was probably in the 1% in terms of how I came out of the accident. And that, number one, you're lucky to be alive, and number two, considering that you're alive, you're lucky not to be paralyzed.
Yeah, well, that's something to be very thankful for. So,
Yeah.
Yep, good.
So I count my blessings every day.
Yes, I would too.
Okay, a couple of things to talk about this morning. First of all, I think you all know that we have instituted a policy where we have meetings every summer for our drainage clerks or drainage administrators. We started that 3 years ago. And it got such welcome reception and such good comments that we have decided to continue it. So we had our third one this year. We normally get about 25 people there. And we never have an agenda. We say we're going to be there for 3 hours. And it's myself and our legal counsel, Doug Strike, and our lobbyist, Mona Bond, that said we're going to be there and talk about whatever you all want to talk about. And the first time we had one, I was a little nervous about it. I thought, is anybody going to show up? And what the heck are we going to talk about for 3 hours? I mean, it's a little disconcerting as executive director to go into the meeting with no agenda. But it was, I think we could have gone another 2 or 3 hours. And of course, a lot of the questions are legal or legal related, but they've sort of saved up for this meeting. So I you know, we get very positive comments on that. Second thing I talk about is we've got our annual meeting coming up on December 5th. I saw you all had the newsletter. We've got registration information in there. Plus I'll be emailing out additional registration information. So that's again, December 5th in Fort Dodge at our usual location. Legislative session coming up in January. Nothing too concerning on the horizon right now. But you never know what's going to come out. So we'll be ready for that. I think the key thing that I want to talk about today that's concerning is a court case that we became involved in, involving our good friends, the railroads. And, you know, I can tell you as the director of this organization, that railroads are the gift that just keeps on giving. It seems like there's no end of issues. You know, I guess the other part of that is I don't think we should consider ourselves persecuted, because I talk to other industries that have to work with railroads and they say the same thing, that they're just impossible to work with.
Even in the county, we struggle with the roads and
Yeah.
crossings. It's just, yeah, ridiculous.
But anyway, we had a multi-county, drainage improvement project that, impacted railroad property. They sent their assessment notices to the railroad. The railroad, for whatever reason, indicated that they weren't gonna pay them. Didn't feel like they were, whatever the railroads say, they weren't gonna pay the assessment notice. And it went back and forth, and finally it got to the point where the railroad sued the county. And the railroad claimed in their lawsuit that they were exempt from paying assessments due to a piece of legislation, federal legislation, that was passed back in the 80s. And lo and behold, they found a district court judge to agree with them.
Surprising.
So the court sided in favor of the railroad and said that they didn't have to pay the assessment. We didn't know about it. IDDA didn't know about it. It wasn't an IDDA member county. And we became involved when the attorney for the county approached our attorney and said, this is a bad deal. Can you help? He says, I'm going to appeal this. Hopefully we will get it taken up by the Supreme Court, and we'd ask that you help with that. And then if we do get it taken up, we want you to write a front of the court brief. I'm told that only about 10 to 15% of the cases that get brought to the Supreme Court are actually picked up and heard. Most of them are just rejected. Luckily, this one, the court did decide to take it up. So we do have an opportunity. The case was heard in early September. I did go and watch the hearing because I just find them interesting. I'm sort of a policy junkie, and it's fascinating to watch the Supreme Court in session. You could have watched it online, but I don't think you get as much of the feel of the room as you do when you're actually present. And I will say that coming out of that, obviously I'm biased, but I thought that the case that the railroads were making was viewed with more skepticism than the case that the county was making by the justices in terms of the question that they asked. And I guess I think that I don't believe that the Supreme Court wants to create a situation where railroads don't have to pay drainage assessments all across the state. I just don't think that's an outcome they want. I could be wrong. Predicting the court is a fool's game, but it seems to me that would not be an outcome that they would be in favor of. So anyway, the case was heard. Supreme Court opinions are normally issued on Friday of each week, if there are opinions to be issued. So every Friday, I normally come out 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I sort of park myself in front of the computer, wait for the email to come in notifying me that the Supreme Court cases are out, and take a look and see if ours is in there. Obviously, so far it hasn't been. We're hopeful. The real problem here is that in most cases that go before the courts in Iowa, most drainage cases, if you lose, you have a remedy, and that's that you can go to the legislature and try to get things fixed in the legislature. This case cites federal law. So there's nothing that the state legislature can do to save us if this goes south. So there's a lot riding on this case, and I'm glad that IDDA was able to get involved. I'm glad the attorney reached out to us and gave us the opportunity You know, I felt that the arguments that our attorney made to buttress the case were very strong ones, and we are certainly hopeful moving forward that Supreme Court, you know, I guess the other part of it that gives me hope is that, you know, if you accept the scenario, the Supreme Court only picks up about 10 to 15% of the cases they get. I think sort of implicit in that understanding is they're not picking up cases to pat the district court on the back and say, good job. If they felt the district court did a good job, they could just leave it alone. So I am made out, you know, I guess I'm more optimistic that Supreme Court actually took up the case, because that tells me that they see something there that they need to take a look at. So we're hopeful on getting this thing reversed. You know, I think if this had been, you know, I don't know, if this had been an IDDA member county, we could have gotten involved earlier. Maybe have had a different outcome. I don't know that. But, you know, we send our dues notices each year, and part of that dues notice is it asks for a contribution to the Mutual Protection Fund. You know, we might go 2 or 3 years and not use that fund. This year, I've got a pot of money sitting there that I don't have to hesitate. I don't have to call the board and say, what do you want to do? We can move very quickly and say, file the front of the court brief, get working on it. And that's a good situation to be in. So be happy to respond to any questions.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad. I hadn't heard that, because I don't know, pretty much every one of our districts crosses a railroad someplace, you know, some 3, 4, 5 times, you know, and that could be expensive for the districts, not alone just the assessment, but fighting the railroads to get to go through and do things. It's a constant battle that they kind of want to try to dictate what we can or cannot do. We're working on one right now that the landowners would like to go to an open ditch. So they're gonna have to put an open ditch on the railroad, and they're not too happy about that. It's a tile right now, but it's obsolete and old, and so I'm not sure where it's at in engineering. We gotta get that taken care of here to see what they're
I
coming
think
up
we got
with.
a long road ahead on that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fight, I'm sure.
Yeah, I had one county that ended up suing the railroad just to get their attention. They couldn't.
Yeah.
So they would send them emails, and the emails wouldn't get answered, and
They delay this project.
they'd call them, and they'd leave voicemails, and the voicemails wouldn't. So this went on for like 7 or 8 months, and we couldn't get them to respond. So we had to sue them to get their attention.
We had one out there like that. They ignored it basically, and then the permit ran out on the
They
pipeline.
ran out, but then
so
it came
we-
in the second time with a second
Yeah,
permit.
so we ended
Pretty
up,
quick.
that project got delayed 4 or 5 months, which landowners didn't appreciate, because it came in the planning season and stuff, and it would have been done ahead of time, but. So they can be a real pain, and it's,
Took some
I
moves.
hope we can come out ahead on this.
Yeah.
So,
They just ran that process right to the end of the clock.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
their time to give us.
They knew what they were
We
doing.
got everything. I mean, it all worked out, but at the cost of time, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's a pain in our thorn, and
Yeah,
the
that's always-
DNR is the other pain in our thorn some days.
Really.
We had a little project last fall that a landowner called me on, and I don't know why they hadn't called on it years ago, but they found out at one point or another, the DNR had built a dike right over one of our outlets.
Oh, okay.
And, I guess long story short, I kind of took charge of the situation, but, the contractor has to go down. The contractor went down and figured out what was wrong, and he says, well, the only way to really remedy this is dig an open ditch for us. Well, you dig an open ditch as far as you want. Never told the DNR, and of course they found out. We're very happy, but
Yeah.
they want us to fill it in. We said, no. I said, not unless you're gonna make sure you take care of your section of tile. And they've kind of dropped it so far. So we
Yeah.
got an open ditch where we can see the outlet now, which would have been that way for probably over 20 years. Nobody complained. They must have gradually got just enough drainage, but somebody was adding on tile, and they found out it was backing up pretty rapidly as they put more tile on the ground.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did get that fixed, and they've been okay with it so far. Haven't heard much from them, but it's a struggle anytime we do a project with the DNR too, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
Seems like.
DOT seems really easy. Permits.
Yep.
They tell you what they want, you go ahead and you do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
DNR and the railroad are the trickiest part.
Anyway, I know from my standpoint, we're not dropping out of
No,
Association.
we got too much.
I'm planning on being at the meeting, so
Too much that requires attention.
appreciate all you guys do. So,
Well, I am blessed. I have a job that I enjoy. A lot of people don't. I get up in the morning and this is something I look forward to doing, so I'm very blessed.
you're good at it.
Yep.
And, even in the hospital, I was trying to keep up with emails and my wife was,
It's kind of like,
give it a rest, give it a rest.
yeah, get yourself healed. You
Yeah.
can do this in a month or so. There you go. Anyway, we appreciate you coming up.
Okay, good. Good to see you all.
You bet. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Anything we got on building the grounds today, general maintenance, anything missing? Working on
I think so. Still got heat.
Tree trimming and all that.
Trimming
kind of
and
stuff.
bushes.
Yeah, that's. JT's gonna get out on weekend, so.
Okay,
Shannon did get, old electrician from over there and
Shannon did it, right?
It's done. Yeah.
She got Kruger to come and
So
do it.
it'll be fixed.
well,
She got
was
it
it-
fixed already.
Yes, it wasn't Kruger, it was, somebody else from,
What she said.
She called it Kruger.
Look, Kruger, it was Kruger.
The email said Kruger.
It was Kruger.
okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe he subbed it with somebody else. It wasn't him. Does he get somebody else that works with him?
Well, there's like 10 guys.
He's got like 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't him, but it was.
Cause at the water treatment plant, we got Jim.
anyway, it's taken care of, which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good. Anything else? Okay, Melissa, you on? Okay, Melissa, can you get on?
Yippers.
All right.
Busy week for me this week. Tomorrow I have a advisory board meeting at for Papa John Center, and then Homes for Iowa discussion at the corridor, and then Wednesday the state SBDC advisory board meeting, and then Thursday is the legislative breakfast at NIAC at 7:30. If you would like to go, I can send you I don't think you have to register. It's open to the public, but I think they want you to register just for head count. 7:30 to 9:30 at NIAC.
Okay.
And then at 1 p.m. there's Home Base Iowa dedication in Leland on Thursday. So kind of a busy week for me.
Good.
All right.
I saw those revolving loan fund applications. I'll get through those this week. Can get back to you.
All right, you're getting another one today.
Good.
Yeah.
We're excited about starting business.
Good. That's a good sign.
All right, well, thank you.
You bet.
All right, anything on water, wastewater?
Nope. Nope. We can change
Nothing's broke.
salt routine. Everything's functioning properly. So
Okay, good. No more floods.
no more floods.
White bunch
If
today?
you guys have any questions on that email, send them up the EMA building stuff as far as the price I got from Jason.
Any questions?
So I guess we have that information if you need to go further into it.
Would go where temporary stuff kind of is.
We looked at
Did it?
probably just, if you drive inside the gate, kind of in that area south of there.
Oh, right south.
Yeah, good. So it's closer to the main drive, I guess you know, it's easier to keep cleaning when they're.
And the buildings we got right now, Jim said he's got enough stuff to make use of
Yeah,
the
you can find
buildings.
plenty of.
Just sitting outside.
For needs and response.
All the
or that's
naturalists,
the best place to have it. Access to equipment.
as good as any other place. I like the fact that not everything's stored in one town, you know, I mean,
True.
it's centralized. For centralized in the county.
Something to put on the radar for the future.
Yeah.
For projects. Was it like 370,000? 369?
Yeah, 370. And you get the engineer or
Yeah.
and architect fees and contingency and stuff in it. He said, you know, if it wasn't a public use building, it'd be a lot less. That's the government efficiency that we run into, I guess.
Yeah.
No, we can definitely consider that.
Yep.
For future. Future projects.
We can stick it in the UR and, you know, we don't have to do it.
Right.
Just be there available to us.
Supervisor comments, anything there? Anything for next week's agenda? Let's come up. Otherwise, we'll be here Wednesday. Yep, pretty much.
Tuesday for canvas and, right?
Galloway.
And Mike.
Gotcha. So,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Close same sign. Meeting